Hi, I want to talk about this GameStop thing and what's going on. I know a lot of people don't understand what's going on, but they're excited about it. I'll give you a quick idea of how these hedge firms are making their money. They look at a stock that's overpriced, or what they consider overpriced. Basically, it's being traded for more than it's worth, and there will be a correction. It'll go back to its price, its value. So they call up their buddy, who has a whole bunch of game stock, uh, shares, stock, and they borrow it for, we'll say, a week. And what they do is they sell it at when it's at $50 a share, knowing that's going to go down to $40 a share. And then in a couple of days, they buy it back at $40 a share. They return the stock, the ownership, to the company that they borrowed it from, and they made themselves a tidy profit. And they even paid the company they borrowed it from for borrowing it, renting it essentially. That's how they make their money. That's what they do. Thing is, it's essentially skimming a piece off of the top of for everyone else. Because you don't create or destroy wealth; it just moves. Now, what happened is a whole bunch of people decided that these guys are selling a whole bunch of GameStop stock, because they're anticipating they're going to lose. So they're going to buy it back at a later date at a lower price, return what they've borrowed, make themselves a profit. Whole bunch of people decided no, they've seen this coming, so they bought up all of the stock, all of the ownership available, and they refused to sell it. Now, things are only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. Now, as people refuse to sell it, but you absolutely have to buy it, or as you violated a contract, you might have to pay 6 or 7 times what you sold it for. So when they sold it for $40, now all of a sudden it's worth $400. They have to buy it back at the $400 a share. That's what's going on. Uh, Now it only works as long as people refuse to sell what they're holding on to, versus saying I bought this for $20, now it's worth $500. It's tough not to sell. That's what's going on with GameStop. That's this whole thing is they're making these companies pay up basically versus using imaginary money and then taking home real money. Uh, and this is I actually brought this up about a week ago how this might spill over into the commodities market. And personally, I go silver. It's not really expensive. It's easy to buy, and you can have it delivered to your home for fairly cheap and get physical possession. That's the next one they're going after is the paper market on silver. The Wall Street Bets guys on Reddit and a couple other pages, these are the guys behind most of it. But they're basically making people pay up on silver. JP Morgan owns over half the world's silver, and I can go into the history of that with the Hunt brothers and a whole bunch of stuff, but that's not even what matters. They own most of the world's physical monetized silver, and by that I mean bars, coins, etc. The rest of the silver is in your keyboards, in your cell phones, in your televisions. Problem is, JP Morgan has been trading more silver on paper than they actually have possession of. So if everyone says, I demand my silver today, JP Morgan will not be able to pay up and they will just disappear. Poof! One of the big controllers of the planet will just disappear. And the crazy thing is, you don't even have to go nuts and buy a kilo. You could, if everyone bought one silver round, and by that I mean 1 ounce, and they're selling for about $27.11 is the spot value. So you're probably going to pay an extra $2 for premium and shipping. But if you demand actual product in your hand, they will not be able to provide it, and they will go under, and you will be able to overthrow one of the big banks in the country. Now, whether or not people are going to be able to buy it and hold it, I don't know. I've got personally a little bit of silver I've been saving up for many, many years, waiting for exactly this to happen. And no, I am not going to hold out until JP Morgan goes bankrupt. if my silver hits a certain value, I'm going to start selling it, and I'm going to sell it in larger increments as it goes up, and I'm going to try to make as much money as possible, and then put most of that aside, and when it comes back down, buy it again at a lower price. But realistically, silver should be worth $1,000 an ounce, just based on inflation alone. And it's selling for about, lately, $25 an ounce. It's up to $27.11. I bet you by Monday it's going to be over $30 an ounce. Just buy one silver round. Just one. Check out jmbullion.com or providentmetals.com, Kitco, Comex. There's a handful of them that you can trust. And just demand actual delivery. There's already a 3 to 5 day waiting period on it because so many people are jumping on it, and they're making the effort to drive the price up and make JP Morgan pay. Realistically, if you want to overthrow them, you should hold on to it no matter what the value gets to. That's going to be tough. But that's what's going on, is basically they're selling stuff they don't own with the intention of buying it back when it costs less. The idea is do not allow them to buy it back for less. Make them pay more. Because they're gambling with your retirement. This is your 401k that they're gambling with like this. Do not let them do it anymore.